Prime Minister launched the National Logistics Policy on Saturday, and we have a company joining us now. So, Dipan, just stay on for a bit. This policy seeks a unified regulatory environment for end-to-end logistics services and an overarching institutional framework that will govern the logistics sector. Prem Kishan Gupta, who's the Chairman and Managing Director at Gateway Distriparks, joins us now to discuss the benefits they expect from the new policy. Mr. Gupta, thanks a lot for joining in. You know, there are several things talked about in this policy, whether it's reducing the cost of logistics, focusing on digitization, multi-modal logistic hubs being made all across India. But from your company perspective, can you tell us what are the key takeaways for you and how could you benefit? Sir, you're on mute. If you could just unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry. Good morning, Sonia, and thank you for having me on the channel. See, as far as our company is concerned, the highlights of the national logistics policy, what has been done in the past and what is going to be in the future means a lot for us. The Western Dedicated Freight Corridor and the Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor, which are uh, near completion, 70-75% of it is completed. And the government has announced that in the next 12 months, all the three ports will be fully functional, on the DFC, that is Nhava Sheva, Pipavav, and Mundra ports. As far as our company is concerned, we already have a location for this double stack movement of containers on the locations that where our ICDs are there. And we have the hub and spoke model. We are already providing the last mile connectivity, which is one of the highlights of the policy. And then bringing all the departments, there are various departments, various ministries involved. Bringing them all on a digital platform will give visibility to the service providers as well as to the end users. And if everything is available on one platform and there will be more spending on the infrastructure in the logistics side, whether it is rail, road, sea, coastal shipping ways, air cargo, all these when they are put on one platform and it is digitized, I think the movement will be faster. We expect faster implementation of projects not only from the government side but on the private side also, and that will result in a shorter time to ship out the goods both for exporters and even for domestic movement.
So, Mr. Gupta, is there anything in this policy that has been left out? Anything that you think could have been added to make it better?
No, I don't think that there is anything because see, this is the broad framework. The nitty-gritties of the policies will be announced soon. So that time it will be seen what is left out or not. But the broad framework and the various aspects have been covered. And if it is a unified platform and digitized, and the time for sanction and implementation is shortened, the movement of goods will be faster, which will be in the interest of the manufacturers. It will boost up the industrial production. It will be good for service providers to have a faster turnaround. And it will be good for exporters, especially to ship their goods out on time, so that their productivity also increases and the cost of logistic services which are being provided now have different angles: road, land, port, sea. They will have a unified rate and they are going to benefit by from that cost.
Okay. For your own business, if you can just leave us with some targets. In FY22, it was a revenue growth of almost 16%. The margins have improved quite a bit. What are you outlining for FY23?
I think we will continue the growth in our existing terminals. In addition, we are very close to, add two more terminals in the northern hinterland, and the revenue growth that will add to the revenue growth to the existing terminals, and the margins will expand because once the volumes go up, our overhead costs also come down, and the faster turnaround means the assets are sweating. So we have a lower cost by way of gaining volumes.
Okay. All right. We will leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in and giving us an update on the policy itself. Not too much.